Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Jeffrey Lazarus, and welcome to Charlie Murder on the Gaming Vector. This is a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up or brawler type game developed by Ska Studios, the same company that brought you the Dishwasher franchise. So let's jump right into the game here. And as you can see, you have local game, you have Xbox Live. This is a 4-player cooperative game. Let's take a look at the help and options menu real quick. So if we jump into controls, there you can see the controls real quick. If you are interested in looking into exactly what those are, I'll leave this up on the screen for a few moments so that you can pause and take a look at them. Otherwise, we're just going to back out. Take a look at the settings real quick. There's only really one setting, which is to turn blood on or off, essentially. So let's go ahead and jump into a local game here, and I'll show you some gameplay, and we'll talk a little bit about this title. Now, as you can see, I actually have the character Charlie up to level 5, but there are multiple characters to choose from, and I believe you can also unlock other characters. But I'm going to be playing as Charlie for the purposes of this demonstration. And as you can see, you have a world map, much like you do in Castle Crashers and other modern beat-em-ups, and you're probably going to be hearing that kind of terminology a lot here, and I think what we'll actually do is we'll just start off here so I can show you some gameplay while we talk a little bit about the game. So, this game is... Are there actually no... Yeah, no, there's an enemy. This game is very much your kind of standard brawler. So you've got light attacks, you've got heavy attacks, you've got a jump, you can block, there are health pickups, there are weapons you can pick up and use. There's some little button-mashing mini-games when enemies, say, pin you to the ground or otherwise jump on you and somewhat incapacitate you. With this character, thanks to the skills I've taken, I can also dual-wield weapons. And there's also a item pickup that can give us health. So, while we're here, let's take a look at a couple of things while there's no enemies on the screen. First of all, by using the back button, you see we have these various items that give us specific boosts, and as we tab through, you can see we have different pieces for our outfit. So the comrade hat or the trucker hat, these all have different different statistics and different statistical boosts, such as there you can see that will give us a fire resist, whereas this one gives us acid resist, so on and so forth. It's all pretty basic stuff. There's also a few items here we can use to make healing items. And these here are our basically special attacks. So if you hold down the right trigger, you see it pops up the special attack menu, and this gives us a couple of attacks. So for instance, since Charlie here, let's just go ahead and head on to the next area. Since Charlie here is supposed to be the singer in this band, because all the characters are supposed to be from this punk rock band, his attacks, he has the basic scream attack there that knocks enemies back and does damage. Go ahead and pick up our items again. And then his other one is a poison attack, which, as you can see, doesn't really do much damage against the cars that are blocking our way. Also, you can throw your weapons. Oh, just wasted the special attack there for no reason. There you can see a med kit we can pick up. You do also have a basic grab attack, which I failed to actually grab the enemy there. And there you can see the little indicator pop up that our special attack was ready again. There's another item we can pick up. Another couple of items that we can pick up that are equipable. So, you're probably, if you're like me, asking yourself right now, well, yeah, this game looks alright, but what makes it special? And honestly, if I had to say, I'd say not much, really. it's a pretty standard beat-em-up slash brawler type game. The only thing that really makes it special... I'll blow up and kill the guy. Or don't. The only thing that really makes it special is kind of this gritty atmosphere it's got, and the punk rock slash kind of heavy metal aesthetic that they have going on. Other than that, it's pretty standard fare when you compare it up against, say, and I said this earlier, Castle Crashers, or alternatively something like Double Dragon Neon, or even Fist Puncher, which we looked at last week. Say, it's not... It doesn't bring anything new to the table aside from the aesthetic. So, just really basically what it boils down to is, you know, if you like these side-scrolling beat-em-ups, then, yeah, this is a fine game. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just nothing terribly special that it does, at least not that I've seen thus far. However, if you're not a fan of these type of games, this one's not going to do anything to convince you. Say, unless the aesthetic is just your thing, and that really ends up drawing you in. For me, though, gameplay is really kind of the most important thing as far as I'm concerned. And this game, it feels very basic. It feels like your standard brawler, as I said earlier. Say, there's not really a whole lot else to say about the matter. I mean, here we've got a little shop area where we can buy some of these items with the cash that we have acquired. Although I don't think any of these are actually going to be better. I do like that the shop gives you a straight-up stat comparison whenever you go up to an item. However, it doesn't actually show you what you're losing. Like, for instance, these shirts. It doesn't show you that... Whoop, wrong button. If you actually look at the one that I have equipped, it has acid resist, knockback, whereas these do not, but it doesn't show that I'll be losing that, just what I will be gaining, and that I'll be losing the defensive stat. So I know this is probably going to end up being a short video, but the simple fact of the matter is, I don't feel like there's really a whole lot to talk about here. It's a pretty standard brawler, and I say this is the newest Xbox Live Summer of Arcade title as well, for anyone wondering. But yeah, it just feels like a very standard brawler, and there's nothing terribly wrong with that. Like I say, it doesn't do anything wrong. I would just say it doesn't do anything terribly new or innovative either. It's standard. That's very much what it is. There is, however, one other thing that the game does have that I haven't actually showed you. Well, two other things, actually. And one of them I may not actually be able to show you. But the first one is, by pressing on the D-pad, you can bring up various functions of your character's phone. So, for instance, you see there's a QR code there. We can zoom in and take a picture of the QR code. And you can see there it said already got because I already have the item, but that will actually give you items in-game. You can also use this to level up your character and to get new stats. As you can see, I have dual wielding and the cranium stomp. So that's how you level up your character, although all it tells you is like strength 120%. It doesn't, at least from what I've looked at, and I haven't looked all that deep into it, I've only played the game for about an hour. It doesn't really give you much explanation as to what those stats are. Granted, they're fairly self-explanatory. Also, the other things we can do is look at our emails. So these basically are kind of tutorial messages that'll pop up. Or sometimes they are story bits that pop up. And these kind of push the game along a little bit. And then the final function is you can check your Squiddle followers, which is basically Twitter and I don't know what effect this actually has on the game. I know that at the end of the level, it tells you how many followers you've gained. And then here, we can see guys that can give us tattoos. You can see the cost of the tattoos, and basically what those do is those are also statistical boosts. So for instance, yeah, Poison Vocals was the one I got for the second special attack that I have. But I could get Shield of Scream, which would buff everyone's defense if I was playing multiplayer. So that might not be a bad idea. Now, the other thing, and we're just going to continue playing a little bit longer here. But the other thing, wow, that I probably will not be able to show you is the fact that this game also has, since it's a game based around, you know, these guys are supposed to be like a punk rock band, that there is a musical minigame. I've seen it pop up once so far, and it's your basic kind of Guitar Hero style minigame where you hit the buttons when they reach the edge of the screen. So here you can see we've made it to kind of a hub area. We can go to the tattoo parlor and get tattoos. We can use this to go to the world map. We can go here to get pets, which gives statistical bonuses. We can actually go in here for PvP multiplayer if we're playing with other people. So there is that competitive aspect. You can go in there and fight against your friends if you so desire. And then this last place, I think this is the last place, just allows you to buy food and whatnot, which you can use to heal up your character. Okay, I'm going to actually exit to the world map. You can also see there is drop-in, drop-out co-op, so you could just drop out if you were playing with another person. And when you leave the game, it saves your inventory, but it doesn't save your progress. So if I was, say, halfway through the next level and I did that, that would be a real bad thing. But I would still have my items. But that's pretty much all there is to Charlie Murder. There's not... What did I just do? Yeah. There we are. There's not a whole lot else to it, unfortunately. It's, as I said, it's very much just a standard brawler. It feels very much like Castle Crashers and Double Dragon Neon and even Fist Puncher, which was on this channel last week. The only difference, really, is the aesthetic. So, like I said earlier, if you're not a fan of brawlers, this one's not going to change your mind. But if you prefer the aesthetic of this over, say, what you've seen out of those other games, then this is a perfectly viable alternative. It is $10. It is available now on Xbox Live Arcade. Say, if you're a fan of the looks of the title and you're a fan of brawlers, I suggest giving it a look. Otherwise, I would have to suggest skipping it because, like I said, there's nothing really mind-blowing in this package. It's a decent enough game in its own right. What it does well, but it doesn't do anything new. With that being said, I have been your host, Jeffrey Lazarus, and thank you for watching.